As most of you probably already know, Mike Esposito from the In-Groove in Phoenix, Arizona, a really good record store, set off a bombshell recently when he discovered that Mofi isn't doing exactly what they seem. Now, there have been a host of videos about this already, and you're probably familiar with what's going on, but I'll be brief in a summation. Mofi has been leading everyone to believe for years that they're using original analog master tapes not only for the remastering process, but also for the pressing. That seems to be the issue. They're not. So, what's the problem then? Mofi have called their original source an original master recording in their own literature on one-step pressings for years now. In addition, they then call it a source material when they're talking about a traditional three-step process. Do you see how misleading that might be? The issue here isn't the sound of the records. The records actually still sound wonderful. Using the source that they have, the high-res digital source, is actually not a bad way to go and is used all the time. As you can see here, using a CD, of course, isn't going to be that great in its replication. Using a higher res audio, you're going to hit a lot more points on the analog wave. That makes it sound that much better. No, the issue here is ethics. A talking point that I don't see a lot of people covering is the resale value. And I don't mean I bought this record and I want to be able to sell it for a lot of money necessarily, because I don't buy to invest. But what about the people who just spent $2,500 to $3,000 on a copy of Abraxas by Santana, which was Mofi's first release on a one-step? Those people put down a lot of cash and they got fleeced. Why? Well, because they thought they were buying one thing and they weren't getting what they thought they were buying, and they spent a lot of money doing so. I can only imagine if I had dropped that much money recently to find out that I wasn't getting the product that I thought I was, I would probably lose my shit. I feel for those people, and I do think that the cost of these records and the resale value, it's going to plummet pretty hard. But what should Mofi do? Quite frankly, they should get in front of this. They should apologize. They know they were wrong, and they haven't said a thing. They knowingly phrased and put out literature that would lead you to believe that you're getting original analog masters and reproduction, and you're not. A roundtable discussion with Mike from the In-Groove on a YouTube video doesn't help the situation. That is not rectifying it, nor is it an apology. They did wrong, and they know they did wrong. Yes, it's business. Yes, it was clever marketing, but it was misleading. Nobody can deny this. They need to apologize, and they need to do it quickly if they want to retain their fan base. The next thing that I would personally like to see is an identifying logo that indicates the source material. It is fine if you're taking original analog master tapes, remastering them, and using a very high-res or DSD audio to make your plates to do pressings. I don't think anyone really has too much of an issue with that, so long as you tell us. Make a brand new logo, put a gold foil or silver foil stamp on one of the records, and you're fine. Just give us something that we can visually and easily identify what it is exactly we're buying for the money we're spending. Which brings us to my next point. They're going to need to lower their prices. Yes, one-steps cost more money. The vinyl that they use is more expensive, and they use more stampers because they wear out faster to get these grooves as sharp as they can, but I don't think that's enough. The value, as I see it, of an analog pressing, an all-analog pressing, is far more expensive, or should be in nature, than the value of a digital one-step. Will I pay for it? Sure. I'm just not going to pay $125 to $150. If you knock it down to, say, $60 or $75, now we're talking. But if you're not offering an all-analog one-step, I think your price range is a little steep these days. Lastly, at least for now, because I don't know how often we'll be talking about this, ditch the limited runs. The master tapes clearly aren't at risk, so there is an unlimited supply of father plates, or converts as Mofi calls them, to be had. That means that you have a digital source, and from that digital source, which never decays, you can make as many father plates as you want, which means you can press as many as you want. I think that ties into the Mofi lie. I think they knew very well that by offering a limited amount, it feeds into that ethos of, I'm getting an all-analog pressing, there's only going to be so many because there's potential damage to the original analog tapes. That's not the case. Lower the cost, throw me an apology, tell me what I've got going on the record, and put more of them out there. Don't make it so hard to find. These are some steps that I think could personally help Mofi move forward. I'm sure this topic isn't going to go away anytime soon, and there's going to be a plethora of comments not only below in the comments, but elsewhere on the internet, and I look forward to reading all of them, quite frankly. Thanks to all of my patrons on Patreon who help make these videos possible. Thanks to you for stopping by to watch, and I look forward to next time.